Hey guys, it's Pro Digital Gear. So today I'll be fixing a loose live view switch on the Canon 5D Mark III. Now this video is by no means an instructional video on how to do this, and if you decide to follow this, well obviously you do so at your own risk. This is not for the faint of heart, and it will probably, it will void your warranty. So don't do this unless you don't care if you break your camera. So again, the live view switch was loose and it would click in and out of video mode way too easily. So I decided to see if I could replace it or tighten it. So the first thing I did was made a little diagram of the 5D Mark III because all the screws are different sizes and I needed to keep track of all the screws. I have a nice mini screwdriver with different bits, and I used a guitar pick to free some of the wiring harnesses. And also, I had a pair of tweezers that I didn't know I'd need initially, but later on I needed them to put back one of the wiring harnesses. Alright, so first I took off the eyepiece cushion thingy. Then of course I took out the main battery. And then next, just as a precaution, I took out the little clock battery. I think it's the clock battery. I went on the side, there's a little screw that you take out, and then it releases the internal battery there. Now I had to peel back some of the covering here to reveal one screw that's in the side. Then I took the 3 screws out on the bottom. As you can see, I'm marking off the screw placements. Now I took out the 4 screws around the viewfinder. Again, I was keeping track of which screws went where. Then I had to peel back the rubber that's on the grip. As you can see, there's 3 screws underneath there. I took those 3 screws out. And then that freed up the panel, but there is a wiring harness. Use my guitar pick to gently free that wiring harness. I drew another picture of this panel here, again using the guitar pick to free the wiring harness, which revealed another screw underneath. And when I pulled that off, I noticed that I can get to the live view switch. Now the live view switch has contacts on it that are very delicate, so I had to be careful. But you could see what makes the switch click back and forth. So I had to make another diagram and take off the 2 screws on the side, and then also the screws holding in the actual contacts. Now this is a very sensitive area. There's tiny little washers and things, so I had to be careful not to lose any of those. And you can't see in this video, but what I did was take off this piece and I bent it back slightly so that it would make more pressure on the plastic that it would snap over. Then I put it back together, making sure that the screws around the switch and on the switch are tight. Then I put the screws on the bracket back. I accidentally put the wiring harness back in, which I had to take off because I forgot about the screw underneath. Then I put the other screws back. Now with the bracket back in, that made it more difficult to reconnect the wiring harness, so I had to get a pair of tweezers to help me push it back in and click down the plastic lock. Then I put the covering back over, making sure that it stayed down. Then I attached the wiring harness back into the main body from the back panel. It snapped right in, and then I was able to put the back on the main body. Put the screws back around the viewfinder. Then the screws by the grip. Then the 3 screws on the bottom. Then the screw on the side on the top. Then I put the clock battery back in, and then I put in the screw that holds that in. Then I put back the rubber on the grip. Put my viewfinder thing back on and put the main battery back in. Powered up. Everything works great. And the live view switch is much more solid now. And it worked good. Again, this is Pro Digital Gear. Hope you enjoyed this video and have a great day.